The narrative began with a quiet young man named Akira reading a novel on his phone in a classroom. A classmate approached him and inquired whether he liked stories about the isekai, but Akira simply replied that he read whatever he could find for free. Before leaving, the boy asked Akira to recommend other free novels if he discovered any. Akira was surprised that someone had actually spoken to him, noting that he was practically invisible at school. Suddenly, his phone started glitching, and a strange darkness spread across the classroom ceiling. The darkness formed a glowing magic circle that began to gather around the students' feet. Everyone was shocked as the circle teleported them into a giant castle. As they wondered about their location, a strange priest appeared and informed them that a king was about to see them. After the priest stepped aside, the students saw a king and princess standing there, and they questioned who these people were. The king then stepped forward and explained that he had summoned the students from another planet to his world, called Morgan. He revealed that they were currently in the reddest empire of the human continent, which was being invaded by demons. The king declared that as warriors from another world, they could defeat the demon lord. The students were excited to start their isekai journey. However, the priest interjected, revealing that only one of them could be the legendary hero. He asked them to test their abilities. A boy placed his hand on a magic ball and learned he was not the hero. The priest assured him that even without the hero status, he was still a powerful soldier. Then, a girl named Yuki discovered she was a dispel mage, and Tomoya learned he was a knight. After Shori learned she was a healer, the priest informed everyone that they could view their status without touching the magic ball. All the kids began checking their own statuses. Nanis asked Akira about his. Akira revealed that he was an assassin, but he felt confused by how overpowered his stats were. Then, Tsukasa stepped up, demonstrating his potential with the hero class. As the priest praised Tsukasa for his incredible stats, all the students started cheering for their handsome class president. Akira, however, wondered how Tsukasa had become a hero with trash stats, since his own were much higher. When Nanis asked him to show his class, Akira remained silent, deciding to keep his overpowered class a secret. He questioned whether he could trust the Shady King's story about the demons. Akira immediately used a conceal spell to hide his presence. Just then, Nanis thought he had gone missing and left, while Asahina tested his class. Once everyone was done, the priest announced that he would prepare special equipment and asked them to rest in their assigned rooms. Feeling relieved that he had not been exposed, Akira followed the students while still concealing himself. Noticing a camera in a hallway, Akira realized that the king was monitoring the students and felt glad that he had chosen not to trust him. However, he failed to notice a knight watching him from behind. Later that night, Akira found an abandoned storage room and decided to rest there. After settling down, he decided to snoop around the building for intel. Watching the city's foreign scenery, Akira felt surprised that he really was in another world, jumping around the building's towers. He was shocked by his superhuman abilities. He then overheard voices in a room and concealed himself to spy on them. Akira heard the princess telling the king that the students were just clueless children with special classes. Feeling confident, the king told her to begin with his plan, and she left the room. Standing behind the king, Akira wondered what the man was up to and thought that he could easily end his life. The king felt disturbed by his presence, but when he turned around, he found no one there and went back to work. The next day, Akira took some lunch while still concealed, wondering if he should tell the students about the king's plans. He concluded they would not believe him anyway. At a nearby table, Tsukasa stood up and told the students that the king had done them all a favor by summoning them with powerful abilities. Tsukasa suggested that they should all work together and repay the king by defeating the demons. As all the students agreed to support their hero, Akira realized that they had been duped by the king's fake story. After lunch, the knight commander, Sarin, gathered all the heroes outside for training. As Sarin bragged about his title as the country's last defense, his partner, Gilles, reminded him to act humbly. Sarin informed the students that they would receive special training for a month before going to a labyrinth to fight monsters. Knowing the students had no combat experience, Sarin reassured them that he would help them learn the ropes. While the students were excited, Akira remained in the shadows, wondering what Sarin was trying to do. As Akira left to gather more intel, Sarin left the students with Jills and departed the training ground. Akira walked toward a water fountain, but Sarin called out to him. Akira was surprised, wondering if the conceal skill had a time limit. Sarin, however, reassured him that the spell was working but explained that it could not hide Akira from him because he possessed mystic eyes, which granted him heat vision to detect body heat. Wanting to protect himself, Akira reached for his knife, but Sarin stated he would not expose him to anyone. Knowing Sarin was on the king's side, Akira doubted whether he should trust him. The knight captain then told him that he had his own reasons and asked Akira to keep their meeting secret from the king. Akira finally decided to trust him. After they sat down, Akira told Sarin that he wanted to read the king's archives to learn more about their world. Sarin asked what level his conceal skill was, and Akira revealed that it was maxed out. However, his other skills were all level 1, so he did not know how to train them. Surprised, Sarin smiled and offered to teach him, saying that the archives did not have much useful information anyway. Akira felt excited to get stronger and explore this new world, though he still wished to return home to his family. Sarin agreed, but felt that Akira needed to get stronger to survive until he found a way back. Akira felt guilty for receiving Sarin's guidance for free, so the knight told him he could repay him with stories of his home planet. As the charming knight held out his hand, Akira smiled, shook it, and formally introduced himself out of respect. Once they started training, Akira learned that besides humans and demons, elves and beast men also populated their world. While Sarin put Akira through intense physical training, he explained that class levels could only be increased by defeating monsters, but skill levels could be increased by training alone. As they continued daily, Sarin was surprised to learn about Earth and its technological advancements. Thinking about how he had found all the technology boring, Akira felt like he missed his old world in this new place. After a while, Sarin was in a room with Jills, who wondered why he spent so much time with Akira. Sarin replied that Akira's stories were simply too good, and Jills also admitted he was fascinated by them. Sarin then revealed that Akira was the true hero with a maxed conceal skill. Jills was surprised, since only the first hero of their world had a max skill. As Akira approached the room, Jills left to give them privacy, handing Sarin a book from the king's archive. Akira said that it contained some troublesome information. Sarin nodded, confirming that the book contained his plans to dethrone the king. Knowing Akira would find it, Sarin explained that he had written the book himself and disguised it as a cookbook. He told Akira that the king was an awful man who was trying to control the world for his own benefit. Akira, recalling the king's program, fell into thought. Sarin then told him that the royal knights all had issues with the king, and Akira deduced that they were trying to remove the king without much violence. Impressed by his observation, Sarin nodded. Akira noted that, as an assassin, he could easily take out the king without anyone noticing. He revealed that he had easily entered the king's study on his first day but could not find the willpower to end his life. Sarin agreed, saying that having an assassin class did not mean he should force himself to take others' lives. Akira mused that he would not want his family to find out he was a murderer. As Sarin agreed with his decision, Akira wondered why he was trusting him so much. Sarin explained that he trusted him because he showed wisdom and promise, citing his initial decision not to trust the king's word at face value. In Sarin's eyes, this meant that Akira was a person who knew how to deal with problems on his own and would not be fooled easily. Growing silent, Akira quietly explained that he had never received much attention as a kid. This confused Sarin, so Akira clarified that Sarin was the only person who had ever praised him so much. Sarin smiled and asked Akira if he could help him peacefully dethrone the king as thanks for his praise. Akira said he would consider it and left the room. After the full month of training, Sarin announced to the students that they would explore the great labyrinth of Kananan. As a crowd gathered for a send-off, Akira was surprised by the attention they were receiving. He noticed a girl watching from a distance and asked her what she was doing. The girl angrily replied that their people had sacrificed so much to summon the heroes. Akira told her he did not know what had happened, so she warned him that they would meet again once he learned. Afterward, the heroes entered the labyrinth, where they engaged in a battle against monsters. one student triggered a trap, exposing them to giant ogres. As Akira took out one ogre, he asked Sarin if they should retreat, and Sarin agreed to clear the way for his students. Sarin used a divine sword spell and took out all the monsters blocking their path. However, when they exited through the gate, they found even more monsters blocking the path. Tsukasa remembered a smoke bomb the princess had given him for emergencies and decided to use it. The bomb took out the small monsters, but from its smoke, a powerful Minotaur monster appeared. As Gilles and the others entered the room, he was shocked by such a powerful Minotaur on a low level. Akira rushed to attack, avoided the Minotaur's strike, and got on top of its body. He struck the monster's body, but its tough skin shattered his blade into pieces. Shocked, Akira avoided another attack and returned to Tsukasa, who felt too exhausted to fight. Tsukasa felt guilty for being unable to fight, but Akira told him he needed to rely on others. He reminded Tsukasa that the other students had also been trained, but Tsukasa started panicking, thinking he was a failure as the hero. Akira wondered why Tsukasa was acting so strangely and asked a Dispel Mage to cure him. Yuki stepped forward and used her spell, removing a demonic curse that had been inducing Tsukasa's panic. With Tsukasa cured, Akira stood with Sarin and asked if he could use a certain technique. Sarin nodded and used a lightning flash to strike and stun the Minotaur, shocking the students. Using this opportunity, Akira silently appeared behind the Minotaur and prepared to use his ultimate shadow magic. The shadow magic created a dark circle underneath Akira, who commanded it to shoot tendrils of darkness at the Minotaur. The Minotaur shook off the dark tentacles and swung its axe to attack, but the tentacles quickly pierced its arm, surprising Sarin. Akira summoned dozens of tentacles that pierced through the Minotaur's entire body and began dragging it down. Akira slowly brought down his hand, and the monster sank into the darkness before getting its head sliced off. After the monster was defeated, Akira panted heavily from exhaustion. But suddenly, the darkness started struggling to free itself from his control. He fell to his knees from the darkness's assault, but Sarin patted his shoulder to calm him down. With his teacher's support, Akira calmed down and sealed off the remaining shadows. Seeing him drained, Sarin noted how heavy the shadow spell was, while Akira felt happy that he had survived the dangerous fight. Afterward, they returned home, and Sarin thanked him for saving all his classmates. Akira thought that he could not have done it without Sarin's support, recalling that he had not even known about the shadow spell before Sarin taught him about it. Sarin noted that while the shadow skill was very powerful, Akira should be careful using it since it was so hard to control. Sarin then gave him a katana created by the first hero. When Akira asked why he did not give the weapon to the current hero, Tsukasa, Sarin explained that Tsukasa already had a holy sword. He also informed Akira that he had stolen the katana from the king's vault, so it might draw unwanted attention. Despite the warning, Akira accepted the katana and found some words engraved on its blade. As he read them, Akira learned that they were an encouragement from the first hero to his successor. He smiled, wishing he could meet the legendary hero, and Sarin wished for the same. While discussing heroes, Akira suddenly remembered Tsukasa's curse, recalling that they could not remove the curse despite their efforts. Sarin thought he knew the curse's source. Meanwhile, in the castle, the princess was cursing Tsukasa with a magic crystal to act as a false hero for her. Suddenly, a katana slashed at her, but the princess dodged it. The attack cut through the crystal and broke the curse. The princess asked for Akira's identity. He pointed his sword at her and asked why she was cursing people. The princess explained that she was doing everything for the king. Akira asked why she was so loyal to the king, but the princess repeated her words, demonstrating she had no mind of her own. He left her to her own devices. While the princess searched through a shelf, looking through crystals that controlled all of her students, Akira reported this curse to Sarin. Sarin asked if the princess had seen his face. When Akira nodded, Sarin told him that the princess was also the king's puppet and warned him not to sleep in the palace anymore. He explained that the princess could curse everyone except the hero, so she would now try to get rid of Akira instead. Sarin warned Akira that the palace guards would turn the place upside down to search for him. Akira asked his teacher why he was not angry at him for revealing himself. In response, Sarin smiled, saying that it was his job as an adult to cover for his young student's mistake. Akira sighed, wishing that the adults in his world were as responsible as him. Sarin asked him to bring him home if he could return to Earth. Thinking it would be a huge bother to show Sarin around the world, Akira quickly changed his mind. The next day, Akira woke up in a tree after being disturbed by a noise. He headed down to check out the commotion and found the students gathered around someone. Tsukasa was surprised to see Akira and asked where he had been. Akira explained that he was just sleeping. Akira noticed that Tsukasa was acting normal again, but when Tsukasa lowered his head in sadness, he realized something was wrong. Akira rushed deeper into the crowd only to find Sarin dead on the ground. Holding his teacher's body, Akira screamed in pain, but the students accused him of stabbing him with his own dagger. Akira reminded them that his dagger was broken in the dungeon, but he realized that they were being controlled by the princess. Tsukasa tried to defend Akira, but the king also pointed his finger at him, accusing him of assassinating the knight commander. As the princess smirked at Akira, he realized he had been set up and quickly escaped using his conceal spell. He made his way to Jill's, who informed him that the king had sent his own assassination squad called Night Ravens to take out Sarin and pin the blame on him. Jill's told him that Sarin had prepared some travel equipment for him, and Akira left after thanking him. After grabbing the equipment, Akira left the palace, wondering if his teacher had known his end was coming. Later that night, the princess told the king that she had cursed everyone except Akira. She suggested that they needed an excuse to start a war with the Eastern Kingdoms, and the king decided to use the students as his pawns. Although he thought that Akira could not survive in the dangerous wilderness, the king still ordered the princess to send the Night Ravens after him just in case. Meanwhile, Akira hid in the labyrinth, remembering his teacher's advice to use the maze for protection. He also recalled that the labyrinth was a great place to level up his assassin class, but people usually avoided it due to the danger. According to Sarin, even Akira's conceal spell could not hide him from the higher-level monster's sense of smell. However, he could level up his conceal spell to hide even his smell and body heat to remain safe in deeper levels. With this information, he spent his days in the labyrinth, carefully dealing with the dangerous monsters. Sarin's advice continued to guide Akira, and he focused on getting to level 100 to unlock a special skill. While continuing his training, Akira advanced deeper into the labyrinth until he encountered a boss level. Knowing it would be a life-or-death battle, Akira entered the boss room, where a ferocious chimera lay in wait. The chimera immediately pounced on Akira, who narrowly dodged its attacks. Then the chimera's tail shot poison at him, which distracted Akira, giving it the chance to trap him under its foot. Feeling crushed, Akira refused to quit, wanting to avenge his teacher no matter what. As the chimera smacked him away, Akira decided to go all out. He activated his powerful shadow magic, which captured the monster with its tentacles. The tentacles obliterated the chimera's body, ripping it into pieces. As Akira lay on the floor, exhausted, his shadow automatically activated some healing magic to restore his health. Back at the palace, Tsukasa tried to convince his classmates to fight the demon lord with him. Since none of them offered to help, he realized they were all under the princess's control. However, when Asahina unexpectedly offered to join him, a few other students also found the courage to go along. After they left the palace, Tsukasa asked the others why they were following him despite the princess's curse. The Dispel mage, Yuki, told him that she could sense that none of the students present were cursed at the moment. Asahina also explained that one night, he was controlled by someone to cut off the princess's curse crystals, after which he found a katana and everyone was released from the mind control. While the students discussed their plans, Jills waited on a rooftop, recalling that he had used his subjugation skill to take control of Asahina's mind and free a few of them from the curse. As Jills wished the students good luck, Asahina thought that they should find Akira to learn more about the royal family's real plans. Thinking about Akira's silent nature, Asahina regretted not standing up for him in the royal palace. Meanwhile, in the dungeon, Akira dreamed about a memory from Earth, when Asahina found him working at a construction site. After Akira asked him to keep his job a secret from his sister, he learned that Asahina also had a younger sister named Kei. Once Akira woke up from the dream, he found that the experience from the boss fight had upgraded his stats. He was shocked to see a full health bar and found that the shadow skill had gained 2 levels with just 1 usage. With the long road ahead of him, Akira decided not to dwell too much on his experience and headed deeper into the dungeon. Inside, he encountered a slime. Akira was surprised that such a weak monster was on such a deep level. He easily took out the slime, but its melted body revealed an elf girl who was trapped inside. Looking at the girl, Akira decided to use his strange world's eye skill, but it showed him some terrifying scenes. He quickly deactivated the skill and made a mental note to never use it unless absolutely necessary. Nearby, the elf girl woke up. Akira asked her if she was fine, and she nodded while her eyes glowed a strange color. He knew that her health had dropped to a critical level. Akira decided not to question her and realized that she could also use the world's eye skill. When the girl asked him about their location, Akira informed her that they were on the 75th floor of the labyrinth. She asked him what he was doing in the dangerous dungeon, so Akira told her that he was trying to level up. However, the girl collapsed in his arms before he could say anything else. Noticing that she had a severe fever, Akira took her to a safe place in the dungeon to rest. After some time, the elf woke up from the sound of her own hungry stomach, and Akira chuckled. He gave her some water to drink and told her to rest, but the girl said she could not sleep on an empty stomach. Hearing her complaint, Akira pulled out some hot porridge, and she quickly gulped it down. Seeing her appetite, he thought that she would recover from her fever in no time. The elf girl was surprised, wondering if Akira knew how to care for the sick. He revealed that his mother often fell ill, so he had learned how to take care of sick people. Then the girl noticed a carving on the dungeon walls. Akira explained that he had marked all the dungeon floors so he could keep track of them. She asked him why he had gone down to the 69th level from the 75th. Akira told her that it was the closest source of water. Realizing that he had carried her to the lower floor, the girl wondered if he had touched her, and he silenced her intrusive thoughts. She then lay back down to rest and revealed that she was elven royalty. Akira told her that he already knew after using the world's eye skill. The elf told him that nobody had ever treated her with such kindness before. As she fell asleep, Akira used a danger detection spell to guard them and closed his eyes to sleep. Once he was out, the girl turned around and smiled at him, feeling warm from his kindness. Afterward, they explored the dungeon together and made their way down to level 80. As the elf girl helped Akira in his fights, he asked why she was still tagging along. She explained that her destination was also lower in the dungeon, so Akira warned her to be careful. The girl reminded him that even though she was not a hero, she was still strong enough to protect herself. As they entered a boss floor together, a blue dragon shot an energy beam at them. Akira used conceal to hide himself while the girl used a gravity spell to bring the dragon down. However, the dragon detected Akira from his mana and swiped him away with its claw. The elf warned Akira about his mana and told him to hide it, but he knew it was too difficult for him. As the dragon charged at him, Akira unleashed a shadow hand, stunning the beast. He took this chance to stab into the dragon's eye, and the creature roared in pain before falling lifelessly. The shocked elf, Amelia, asked him how he had used the shadow spell. Akira told her that since he could not hide his mana in the surroundings, he had just unleashed it all in a powerful single attack. She was even more shocked that he could wield such power. But suddenly, the dragon's body started glowing. Once the glow disappeared, Akira was surprised to see a sleeping cat lying on the ground. Amelia explained that this creature was known as a black cat and had used a shape-shifting skill to transform into a dragon. Surprised that she knew this, Akira wondered if she had gotten the information from her world's eyes. She nodded and asked why he was not using his own. He responded that he could not control the power yet. Akira thought that his level was too low to use the skill, but Amelia told him that he was only rejecting the power. Suddenly, the black cat woke up, embarrassed that it had lost to a bunch of kids. Akira was surprised that the cat could talk, since he did not know floor creatures could possess intelligence. But the cat proudly revealed he was a superior beast created by the demon lord. Both realized they were dealing with a narcissist, but the cat ignored them as it boasted arrogantly. Akira drew his dagger and reminded the cat that it was too hurt to move. The cat calmly replied that Akira could do whatever he wanted, but before he did, it had a message from the Demon Lord. The cat revealed that the Demon Lord had invited him to a volcano in the Demon Continent. Akira wondered why the Demon Lord was interested in him. He asked the cat if the Demon Lord knew about his origins, but the cat shook its head, saying that its master was a mysterious man. After delivering the message, the cat lay down and told Akira to finish him off. When Akira refused, the cat insisted again, reminding him that demons and humans were mortal enemies. Akira replied that he was not interested in that rivalry. Remembering the treacherous human king, he suspected that something was fishy with the human-demon hatred. However, Amelia reminded him that if he did not dispose of the dungeon boss, the door would not open, so they would be unable to progress. Agreeing with her, the black cat asked Akira why he was taking so long to slay him. In response, he admitted that he was just a cat lover, which left the monster completely speechless. Akira was excited to have a talking pet cat, but the black cat reminded him that he would starve to death if he remained stuck on the boss floor. Akira wondered if there was really no way to progress without ending the cat. Amelia suggested that there was one thing they could try. She explained that if he took the cat as his familiar, the dungeon would stop regarding it as a boss and open the floor's door. Hearing this, the black cat thought there was no way Akira had enough magic control to perform the blood contract ritual. However, Amelia reminded him that Akira had just executed the difficult shadow spell with great mastery, so he definitely had the skill. Akira wondered what would happen if he somehow failed, and Amelia told him that both he and the cat could die. Despite the danger, Akira decided to go through with the ritual, and the cat allowed him to do it, not caring if it lost its life. Akira got irritated by its nonchalant behavior and asked why it did not care about its life. The cat responded that it had lived for too long. Akira asked Amelia to explain how to start the ritual. After Amelia explained that he had to start by naming the cat, Akira thought for a moment and decided to name it Night, inspired by its black fur. The name left the cat momentarily silent. Akira then took its paw to begin the ritual as Amelia watched with concern. A gentle mana field surrounded Akira, who found himself lost in a deep sea. Suddenly, the scenery shifted, and he was launched into a burning city where he saw Night roaring on a rooftop. Night destroyed a building, releasing large chunks of rubble that buried innocent people. This enraged Akira, who yelled at Night to stop, but it turned around to attack him. Akira blocked the attack, but Night still managed to hurt him. Night snarled and told Akira to kill him, otherwise, it would end his life completely. Night launched another attack, which Akira jumped to avoid, but the cat swiped a powerful paw at his face, knocking him back. In the real world, Akira recoiled from the blow, worrying Amelia even more. Back in the soul world, Akira got serious and threw a dagger at Night, who appreciated the positive response. Night called Akira to come closer and kill him. Then he jumped to end the fight. However, as Night extended its claws, Akira fell on it and got impaled without any resistance. This left Night completely shocked. Akira said that no matter what, he would not kill him. Akira pointed out that Night also did not like to take innocent lives. But Night claimed that as a monster, it was in his blood to slay innocent humans. Knowing that even the cat was tired of mindless violence, Akira said that as long as Night followed him, he would never have to kill innocent people again so he could live free of guilt. His comforting words dissolved the painful memory of the burning city, and Night united with Akira in peace. Once the ritual was over, Akira woke up in the real world and put his hand on Night's body. A new symbol glowed on his hand and transformed the mark on the cat's body to resemble itself. Seeing this, Amelia was relieved that the pact was successfully completed. After the cat woke up, it told Akira that it would follow him to see how far he could go. Akira nodded and introduced himself as his master, and the cat gracefully accepted its new name as Night. Once Night accepted his name, Amelia greeted him as well, and he recognized her as his master's companion. Soon, the dungeon floor started glowing, and a magic circle appeared on the ground. Night explained that since he was not the boss anymore, the dungeon had created a floor exit. However, Akira refused to exit yet since Night was still exhausted from their fight. Seeing that they were going to stay on the boss's floor, Amelia got excited and decided to have a friendly chat so everyone could know each other better. Meanwhile, outside the dungeon, Tsukasa and the rest arrived at a city called Yamato, which was created by the first hero of this world. Seeing the traditional Japanese aesthetic, Tsukasa's party looked forward to exploring the exotic culture. After getting dressed in beautiful kimonos, the party sat down to eat some Japanese food. Once they were settled down, Tsukasa got serious and started recalling their mission. He pointed out that they were running low on funds, so one of them suggested joining the Adventurers Guild to accept quests. Then Tsukasa told his friends to get their hands on some books so they could start researching for more information on this new world. Desork wondered if they could find a way to go back home. But Tsukasa thought that the fastest way to get back home might truly be to defeat the Demon Lord. Aino wondered why he was so confident. Tsukasa explained that the king should know the way to send them back since he was the one who had summoned them in the first place. Shori also recalled that the rest of their class was still in the palace, so they would have to go back to negotiate with them anyway. Nodding, Tsukasa said that they would head out for the Demon Continent after getting all the information and money they needed, but Asahina thought they should stay in Yamato for a while. He explained that his intuition skill was detecting that Akira was much stronger than they all were, so they needed to find him and get his help. The rest of the students agreed with Asahina, but Desork still suspected Akira of assassinating Sarin. Asahina reminded him that their memories had been altered by the king's magic, and Yuki wondered if a lone wolf like Akira would even help them. Sha asked Tsukasa if he agreed with Asahina's plan, and he fell into thought. Tsukasa pointed out that while Akira was certainly the strongest of their group, he was so forgetful that he did not even remember Tsukasa. Despite being his classmate since kindergarten, Asahina also agreed that Akira was not a very friendly guy. Tsukasa thought that given the immense gap in power between himself and Akira, the latter would never heed their advice. In his view, they needed to reach Akira's level of strength before attempting to find him. Therefore, Tsukasa decided that they should remain in Yamato until they became stronger than the monsters in the surrounding area. Since everyone agreed with his reasonable plan, Tsukasa began their mission. Back in the dungeon, Amelia recalled being hunted down by her own people. After her little sister drove her out of the country, Amelia fell into a lake, washed ashore, and was then swallowed by a black slime. Knight wondered how she had survived being inside the slime, as they usually digested their prey. Amelia stated that she did not care, as she was just happy to be alive. Akira suggested that she should try to return home, but Amelia lacked confidence that anyone would welcome her. Seeing her insecurity, he suggested that perhaps her sister might listen to her despite their bad blood. Thinking about family, he smiled, remembering his own little sister, Yui. Akira recalled buying a new phone for Yui since hers had a cracked screen. Yui felt guilty that her brother had to work so hard for her, but their mother told Yui to accept her brother's gift because he loved her so much. Hearing her sick mother's words, Yui finally accepted Akira's gift, and Akira sighed as he completed the story. Knight felt curious if Akira wanted to return home to see his family, and Akira nodded. However, he revealed that he had something he must do in this world before he could return. He explained that in his previous life, he had always been a loner who stayed unnoticed. Once he was summoned to Icegate, Akira felt that it was completely normal to get the conceal skill. Somehow, Captain Sarin had easily spotted him and taught him how to use his powers to survive in the foreign world. Remembering how Sarin was murdered in cold blood by a bunch of low-life scum just to frame him, Akira's aura glowed with intense rage. Overwhelmed by fury, he declared that he would never return home before avenging Sarin. Amelia snapped him out of his thoughts. Knight reminded him to keep his bloodlust under control and asked if he was talking about the famous Commander Sarin. Akira nodded and suddenly pulled out a loose glove, which Knight tried to catch. Knight was confused by his actions, so Akira explained that they should lighten the mood by playing together. Knight reminded him to get serious, noting that since their souls were linked, if either of them lost his life, the other would lose it as well. Akira nodded, but noted that since they could use telepathy, no matter how far apart they were, the link was worth it. Once they were rested, Akira decided to head out. He asked Knight where the floor exit led, but Knight did not know either. Akira learned that only a few demons knew how to create magic circles, so he decided to visit the demon lord after taking his revenge to obtain a teleportation circle of his own. Upon seeing the teleportation circle, Amelia mentioned a rumor that some magic circles could transport people to the place one of them most strongly desired to go. After hearing this, Akira realized that they would end up in a random place, but Amelia said that she would be happy as long as she was with him. Akira was surprised, and they stepped onto the circle. Although Akira thought about returning home to his family, he decided not to leave before finishing his business in this foreign world. Once the teleportation circle activated, the group ended up in front of the holy tree of the elf continent. Much to Amelia's shock, Akira was pleasantly surprised that they were in the elven homeland, but Amelia was anxious since she was not ready to go home yet. Suddenly, an archer fired an arrow at Amelia, but Akira stepped in to protect her. He then took out his dagger and deflected another arrow before instantly getting behind the elf. As Amelia ran toward Akira, she found him holding an elf soldier named Liam. Despite the dangerous position, Liam started shouting at Amelia to get out of this land, so Akira knocked him out. She thanked him for protecting her, but Akira noted that the rest of the elves had already surrounded them. As the elf archers pointed their arrows at the group, Amelia's little sister, called Kilika, walked out, calling her a traitor. Kilika arrogantly threatened her sister, saying that she should never have touched her while being a child of Blight. Akira realized that things were about to get heated. Before this happened, Amelia was walking through her garden, accompanied by an entire troop of elf soldiers guarding her. The princess felt uneasy with all the attention, but one of the guards reminded her that her safety was of utmost importance. Nearby, she watched her sister Kilika practicing combat drills with the other elf soldiers, effortlessly defeating them with elegance. As Amelia admired her younger sister's skills, a guard gently reminded her that no matter what, she would still inherit the crown as the eldest sister. One day, Liam asked Amelia to call off their engagement, but she told him she could not make that decision on her own, he would have to speak with her father first. Suddenly, Kilika appeared and coldly told Amelia that Liam did not want to marry her because she was a cursed child of Blight. That night, Kilika gathered the soldiers to hunt down Amelia, accusing her of being a traitor for trying to become queen while being cursed, as Liam declared that the children of Blight did not deserve the throne. All the elves aimed their bows at Amelia. In the present, Amelia once again found herself surrounded. Kilika arrogantly told Amelia that she was not welcome, but Akira stepped forward with a calm smile. He asked Kilika what proof she had to accuse her sister of being a criminal. In response, she showed him her purple arm, claiming that Amelia had deliberately poisoned her while pretending it was a healing potion, and thus she deserved death as a traitor. Amelia stated that she had just given her a normal potion, but Kilika claimed her sister was lying. As Amelia fell silent, Kilika approached Akira, saying she was glad he had brought the traitor back to her. When she was close enough, she activated one of her skills. Amelia instantly realized what her sister was trying to do and warned Akira to close his eyes, but it was already too late. Kilika had used her mesmerize skill to take control of Akira's heart, meaning Amelia's only friend had now been stolen from her. Amelia firmly told Kilika to undo her skill and apologize to Akira, thinking that he deserved the right to choose for himself. Kilika felt upset since this was the first time her sister had put her in her place. Just then, Akira calmly told the girls that he was fine, explaining that the mind control spell did not work on him. Kilika wondered why her spell failed, so Knight told her that she was simply too weak to control Akira. She could not believe that Akira could possibly be stronger than her, but he was already tired of Kilika's arrogance. He ordered her to clear Amelia's name of all the false accusations she had made against her. As Akira pointed out that Amelia would never stoop to dirty tricks, Kilika grew angry and ordered her soldiers to take aim at him. Ready to fight, Akira started summoning his shadow, but suddenly the Elf King stopped his soldiers. The king asked Kilika what she was doing. One of the elves began explaining that Amelia had returned but was silenced by the king, who remained focused on his daughter. Kilika felt nervous since she thought her father was not returning soon. He revealed that he had returned early for some important business. As he repeated his question, Kilika shrank back in fear, and the rest of her soldiers started telling the king that it was all Amelia's fault. The king easily saw through them, knowing that Kilika was mind-controlling them. He told her to await her punishment and walked up to his elder daughter. The king apologized to Amelia for her sister's conduct and promised to discipline her. He then turned to Akira and asked him to leave the kingdom. Amelia told her dad that Akira had saved her in the dungeon and brought her home. But he reminded her that other races were forbidden from staying in their land. Hearing this, she decided to go with Akira. The king grew furious, saying that it was her duty to be the future ruler of the elf race. Akira stepped in, saying that Amelia deserved to make her own choice. The king warned him to stay out of their business, so Akira reminded him that he was not obligated to follow his orders. Akira then warned the king that he would put him to sleep if he kept pressuring Amelia. At that moment, the king realized that Liam had been defeated by Akira and understood that he was no pushover. Deciding to settle things, the king proposed a duel. However, he announced that Kilika would fight in his place and informed Akira that the duel would be held beneath the holy tree as elven tradition dictated. As Akira walked to the tree, he asked Amelia what a child of blight was. She told him that there was an elf superstition that whenever elven twins were born, the child who was different from their parents would bring a huge calamity to their race. Knight noted that these rumors were just baseless superstitions. Akira was surprised that Kilika had been using Amelia's different iron hair color to turn the elves against her. As Knight complained about Kilika's rough treatment, Akira told Amelia that her strange hair and eyes looked beautiful. Once they reached the holy tree, Akira told Knight he would not use his conceal spell since he wanted all the elves to watch him destroy their fighter. Amelia warned him, saying that Kilika was the elves' strongest swordsman. Akira noticed how much praise she had for her sister and turned around to face her. As the Elf King ordered Kilika to get ready, she drew her sword against Akira. He did not even bother unsheathing his own sword beforehand, which annoyed Kilika. Meanwhile, Akira thanked Amelia for getting angry for his sake and told her that he would free her from the confines of the elf race. Soon, the Elf King started the fight, and Kilika made the first move, attacking Akira with rapid strikes. He avoided all of her moves with ease. He acknowledged that Kilika was strong, but he easily phased through her attacks. In an instant, he dodged one of her strikes and pushed her back. Knight saw that his master had the upper hand. Akira told her to just give up, which enraged her even more, and she charged her sword with a wind spell and launched it toward him. The green tornado slammed into Akira's sword, forcing him to dodge the attack. Knight was surprised that Kilika could use buff magic. Amelia told him that this was Kilika's original spell. As Kilika continued attacking, Akira noted that her eyes looked sad. She denied feeling any sadness and kept attacking him. Akira got under her strikes and swept her off her feet. This time, Akira put his sword to her neck, but Kilika still refused to give up, claiming that Amelia had taken away everything from her. She attacked him again, forcing him back with her powerful energy. Since the energy spilled over to the spectators, Akira ordered Knight to protect Amelia. Meanwhile, Kilika claimed that Amelia had taken away everything from her, recalling her childhood. Back then, the sisters used to get along great. But when their father found out that Amelia had the legendary spirit medium class, the king immediately decided to make her his successor. After that day, everyone started doting on Amelia, leaving Kilika completely behind. Remembering those painful days, Kilika went berserk. Just then, Liam gave Amelia a special item to help her sister. After accepting the item, she summoned a magical twig from the tree and released it into the sky. The twig compressed its magical energy before bursting, releasing a purifying glow that removed Kilika's spell from all of the mind-controlled elf soldiers. As she realized her spell was failing, Kilika started crying and blamed everything on her elder sister once again. She launched a powerful attack toward Akira, who realized that the people behind him would lose their lives if he dodged it. Finally, he decided to use his shadow magic and opened a portal of darkness that created several shadow hands. The hand started devouring Kilika's energy, but she kept struggling to push Akira back. After overpowering Kilika, the shadows started devouring her body, so Akira redirected them toward himself. When the shadows returned, Akira felt a strange aura coming from his body, but Kilika charged at him again. After blocking her attack, he took her down, knocking the sword out of her hands. Akira approached Kilika, saying there was no way everyone would ignore a talented girl like her. Kilika scoffed, thinking she was so weak that even Liam had broken free from her mesmerize spell. However, Akira revealed that Liam was never mind-controlled in the first place. As Amelia explained the situation to Kilika, her father also came over, apologizing for neglecting her. He informed her that he was the one who took something away from her. He erased her childhood memories and now used his power to restore them. In her dreams, Kilika remembered training her best to get stronger with Liam. However, she never felt strong enough, so she ran deep into a dungeon for special training. One day, Kilika met a shady figure who gave her an orb to summon powerful monsters that would help her level up faster. The innocent young girl took the orb to the labyrinth where she used it to release her training monsters. However, the monsters were too powerful for her, so he was forced to escape. Somehow, the monsters followed her out of the labyrinth. Kilika decided to fight them to protect her people. As she fought valiantly, the elven soldiers quickly heard about the monster incident and led a troop to find her. However, when Liam got close to Kilika, one of the monsters sneaked up on him and pierced through his stomach. In front of the sisters, Liam collapsed dead. While the shady figure laughed at the tragedy it caused, Kilika's father explained that since she was heartbroken by Liam's passing, he had used a spell to erase her memories of that incident. Afterwards, Amelia awakened her legendary spirit medium magic and created 2 new spells, Gravity and Resurrection. Using a special technique, she was able to revive Liam. So, Kilika never even realized he had died. Once Liam came back, everyone else started treating Kilika differently to hide the truth from her, which led to her feeling isolated. The king felt guilty that in his efforts to protect her, he had ended up isolating and hurting her instead. However, he thought that she was now strong enough to handle the truth. Akira realized that he was just used as a tool to awaken Kilika's strength and deliver the truth to her. Just then, Liam also apologized to Kilika for pretending to be hypnotized, saying that he was just trying to keep her apart from her elder sister so their hatred did not get any worse. The king explained that Liam's body had fused with a leaf from their sacred tree, so he became immune to her mind control. Liam apologized for being unable to prevent her sister's exile, while Kilika felt guilty that she had become her beloved sister's enemy. However, Amelia comforted her, saying that she knew Kilika always had a kind heart. In Amelia's eyes, her sister was a strong girl who always tried her best to gain strength and help others. Hearing her thoughts, Kilika burst into tears and hugged her sister while everyone else rushed to help with her injuries. Akira watched as Kilika became the center of attention, noting that Liam even confessed to her in all the chaos. After everything had settled down, the king offered a welcome party to Akira, who asked if Amelia was free to go. The king nodded before asking him where he would go next. Akira told him he would explore the beast folk continent since Knight mentioned they had good quality weapons there. Meanwhile, elsewhere at sea, Asahina and the others departed for their journey since they had grown tired of waiting for Akira. Their group had decided to head over to the beast folk continent to get their weapons upgraded there. Back at the elven forest, Kilika wished her sister good luck before she left. Akira said goodbye to Liam, who told him to take good care of Amelia. He nodded, but reminded Liam to focus on the girl by his side as well. The Elf King chimed in, saying that Liam had already made his feelings clear for Kilika, so it was up to her if she wanted to marry him. While the two of them looked at each other, the Elf King offered to escort Akira and Amelia to the seaport. Akira wondered why they needed so much protection. The king explained that bandits had been kidnapping travelers on their way to the sea. The king also revealed that he had returned early to his country just to deal with these bandits. Even though Amelia thought she would be fine with Akira's protection, the king still felt worried for her. Thinking that the king was going with them, Kilika decided to go as well, and the rest of the elves joined her. Naturally, Akira refused to let such a giant group accompany them. As Akira and Amelia left in a carriage, he wondered why Knight was so quiet the entire time. Knight explained that nobody liked demons, so he just did not want to attract any trouble. Akira was surprised that Knight was being so considerate toward them and asked if the demon lord would get upset by his actions. Knight nodded and explained that the Demon Lord was connected to him and could see everything happening around him through that link. However, he still allowed Knight to act independently so he could help Akira as much as he wanted. Akira said that Knight could help the Demon Lord if he ended up fighting him, but Knight remained silent. Then Knight explained that the Demon Lord was interested in Akira, so he did not need to act against him. Amelia thought that the Demon Lord might want to have good relations with Akira, and Knight agreed. He pointed out that the Demon Lord saw Akira's unique shadow magic during his battle with Kilika. It turned out that shadow magic was very rare in their world, and most people could not use it as freely as Akira. Akira said that he had just condensed the shadows as armor to protect it from consuming Kilika, but Knight thought it was still an impressive feat. He suggested calling the technique Shadowclad. Just then, Akira detected something nearby. After the carriage stopped, he got out to check the area. The elf carriage rider used a pair of binoculars to spot some bandits approaching them. However, the bandits were ready for this and had a little elf girl taken as a hostage. Akira noted that they must also have detected him from a distance as the bandits gave them some rope to tie themselves up. One of them immediately noticed that Amelia was an elf princess, and their leader got excited, saying that their Lord Graham would love their target. Suddenly, Akira vanished into the shadows and took out all the bandits before they could react. He used their own rope to tie up the thugs, and Amelia freed the captured elf. After the bandits were tied up, Akira wondered who Lord Graham was. The elf driver explained that he was a nobleman from the largest nation on the beast folk continent called Euro. Akira nodded before telling the elf to take the girl back home. The driver hesitated since he was supposed to escort them to the port. However, Knight smelled the sea breeze nearby, so they decided to finish the rest of the journey on foot. As they arrived at the port, they got onto a ship headed for the beast folk continent. Akira looked forward to leveling up in the new land. Amelia wondered why he wanted to get even stronger. He responded that in order to avenge Sarin, he must become as strong as he could possibly get. Knight told him that he could level up in the port city's labyrinth, but they still had a few days before they arrived. While Knight lay down to relax, Amelia was excited because this was her first time traveling by ship. She was excited to spend a few days relaxing with Akira but found him reading a book like a boring old man. Amelia wondered where he had gotten the book from, so Akira explained that he had asked her father for it. This left her frustrated, thinking Akira was a dummy for not caring about her. Some days later, they finally reached the port city of Uruk in the beast folk continent. When they got off the ship, Akira noticed that all the manual labor was being done by humans, which showed that the beastmen looked down on humans. While they walked away from the port, some beastmen approached them and ordered Akira to leave Amelia with them. Akira told her to stay back. The beastmen rushed toward him, but Akira calmly wrapped his hand in shadow magic and blinded them instantly. While they struggled in confusion, he quietly left the place with Amelia. Knight wondered why Akira was so gentle with these goons, so he explained that he just did not want to draw any attention. As they walked through the streets, the people around them gasped when they saw Knight. Akira wondered if they were afraid of him, and Knight explained that black cats were feared throughout this continent. Meanwhile, a strange girl stalked their group from a corner. Afterward, they headed to a hotel to spend the night. After having dinner, Akira got ready to sleep in one of the big beds. However, Amelia thought the bed was enough for both of them, and Knight left to give the two of them some privacy. Akira felt too embarrassed to share the bed with Amelia, but she refused to take no for an answer and left to take a shower. The next morning, Knight returned, thinking Akira must have enjoyed his time. Once he woke up, he felt confused and was shocked after realizing that Amelia was sleeping next to him. Knight told them to get dressed, saying that they would have a visitor. A moment later, a blacksmith called Crow entered their room, and Knight told them that he was the one who had hired him. Crow said that he could not refuse a request from the Nightmare of Adlia, and this name confused Amelia. Knight explained that Crow was the best blacksmith in the world and the reason why he had brought them all to the beast folk continent. After the introductions, Crow asked to see Akira's sword. Once he took a look, Crow realized that Akira must have damaged it in the Kaninan labyrinth. Amelia was surprised that he could figure all of that out just by looking at it. Akira asked if he could upgrade the sword, so Crow told him that he would need the right materials and money for it. Akira agreed to get the goods and asked him to make 20 throwing weapons for him as well. Hearing his requirements, Crow realized that Akira was an assassin. He praised Akira for his skill but said that he was too inexperienced to handle his masterpiece weapons. Amelia did not like Crow's comments, but Akira told her that Crow was not wrong about his assumption. Knight also told her that even though he was now a blacksmith, Crow used to fight in the previous hero's party. After giving Akira the list of materials and costs for his repairs, Crow left the room. Knight reassured Akira that Crow was the best person for this job, but he wondered how he would get all the materials and money required for it. Knight told him to simply hunt monsters in the labyrinth to gather materials and sell the rest. Akira agreed, thinking it was a good chance to level up his skills as well. Seeing him agree, Knight explained that Uruk City's labyrinth required a certain adventurer level to enter. So, Akira decided to deal with that problem later. Suddenly, Amelia asked if she could talk to Crow. So Akira let her go. He told Knight to watch over Amelia before leaving to gather some information about the city. A little while later, Amelia and Knight visited Crow's workshop. Crow asked why they were visiting him. Amelia mentioned that in the previous hero's party, only a beastman and the hero survived after failing to defeat the demon lord. So she believed Crow must have been one of those survivors. Crow nodded and revealed that they had an elf in their party, too, but he died in the battle. He wondered if Amelia was angry at him for letting her kin die, but she believed that surviving a fight with the demon lord proved he was far stronger than they were. She asked him to teach her how to fight, but Crow quickly turned her down. He explained that he had taken some other apprentices before, but none of them could endure his harsh training. Amelia promised that she would not quit, saying that she needed to get stronger if she wanted to keep up with Akira. However, Crow reminded Knight that he had only agreed to blacksmithing requests, not accepting a student. Knight told him that he did not control Amelia's actions and asked Crow to stop addressing him as the Nightmare of Adlia. Crow refused, saying that Knight was the very symbol of fear that terrified every beastman in the continent. Amelia wondered how Knight got this name. He explained that over 100 years ago, Adlia City was the biggest in the beast folk continent. One day, the demon lord ordered Knight to attack Adlia in order to terrorize the beastmen who had invaded demon territory. Although Knight's mission was just to scare the city's high-ranking officials, he lost himself to his instincts and killed innocent civilians living there. Because of all the suffering Knight inflicted on their innocent, the beastmen started calling him the Nightmare of Adlia, a symbol of destruction for years to come. Back in his room, Akira learned about this entire story since he was linked to Knight's thoughts through their bond. Meanwhile, as Knight finished the story, he revealed that he had lost hope in himself after that tragedy. However, after meeting Akira, he felt confident that he could control himself from going wild again. Crow was surprised as he noted that Knight had changed. The cat admitted he was guilty of many crimes. However, Knight said that he would not let himself die now since he wanted to serve his new master. Crow told him that he did not hold a grudge against him, but the story was incomplete. He recalled meeting Knight after Adlia's destruction when he was paying his respects at his sister's grave. Knight allowed Crow to take revenge by killing him, but Crow refused, saying that Knight was only used as a tool by the demon lord. Then, Crow told Knight that he was not the person who killed his sister, but another beastman from the same city. It turned out that after Knight left Adlia, Crow's sister tried to help all the people who were injured or stuck. However, one of the nobles of that city was afraid that Knight would return. So, he rushed his carriage to escape. In his hurry, the man rushed toward a group of injured people. Crow's sister asked him to slow down. Unfortunately, that cold-hearted noble burned her alive along with many others, ruthlessly taking her life just to save a few seconds for his own selfish gain. Crow felt enraged that Lord Graham took his sister away, but he did not take revenge because he thought his sister would not want it. Amelia thought the whole story was tragic, so Crow told her he did not need her sympathy. However, she told him that she felt bad for his sister, saying that he was using her as an excuse for escaping his duty. She pointed out that Crow only assumed that his sister would not want revenge, even though it was his responsibility to avenge her death. Crow grew angered by her words, but she told him she used to feel the same way some time ago. However, Akira helped her see that by ignoring her sister's feelings, she was only hurting her even more. Hearing this, Crow remained silent for a bit before asking her to leave. Meanwhile, Akira decided to use conceal to sneak into the restricted labyrinth. Suddenly, an explosion rang out nearby, and a crowd of beastmen ran away from the area as dragons flew out. Watching the scene from afar, Knight and Amelia rushed toward the city. Suddenly, giant monsters came out of the city's labyrinth, killing innocent people. Amelia rushed to help them and asked Knight to evacuate as many people as he could. As Knight ran away, a strange boy riding a worm called out to Amelia. When she turned around, she found out that it was the same boy who had tricked Kilika during her childhood. The boy introduced himself as Aurum before saying that the demon lord had ordered him to keep Amelia alive. He ordered his worm to capture her. While in another spot, Akira fought off the vicious monsters. Suddenly, Knight informed him that Amelia had been captured and taken into the labyrinth. This shocked Akira, and he rushed to grab another sword from a fallen beastman. Knight soon returned, and Akira said that they needed to clear out the beasts outside before heading into the labyrinth and told Knight to stand back. Soon, he unleashed a massive version of the shadow spell called Shadow Hell, which surrounded the entire city and slayed every single monster there. As he wiped out the monsters, Akira roared in anger, surprised by how intense his emotions had become. Once the spell faded, he collapsed from sheer exhaustion. Watching his master injured, Knight quickly rushed to his aid. Meanwhile, the system detected the damage on Akira's body and activated his shadow magic to heal him. The shadows wrapped around him and began to glow softly as they repaired his injuries. Knight watched in awe as Akira was completely healed within just a few seconds. Once he was recovered, Knight took him somewhere else to rest. Akira woke up after a short while and asked Knight where they were. Knight explained that they were in Crow's house since it was a safe spot to rest. Then Akira asked him how long he had been sleeping for. Knight revealed he was out for a whole day and a half. This shocked him, but Knight pointed out that he was literally on the verge of dying, so it was a miracle he was still alive. However, the only reason Akira could survive was that the shadow magic activated on its own to heal him. Knight felt suspicious of this strange magic, but Akira told him that even he did not fully understand his own abilities, so they should focus on their current problem. After getting out of bed, he found Crow outside and thanked him for the bed. Then, as Akira started leaving the house, Crow asked where he was going. He told Crow he was going to save Amelia. Crow pointed out that he had no way of tracking where she was. However, Akira stayed stubborn and headed out, determined to bring her back at all costs. Crow tried to calm him down, but Akira was too anxious about Amelia to relax. When Crow pointed out that he was about to fight demons without even carrying a weapon, Akira simply replied that he did not need one. Finally, Crow pointed to a finished sword in his room, saying that Akira was too angry even to notice it. As Akira took the weapons, he noticed that they were dual swords. Crow explained that dual daggers suited his assassin style better and told him to pay for the materials later. Then Crow gave him a ring from the second or third hero, which read, "I'll lead you everywhere." Crow was surprised that Akira could read the words, so he asked him what the ring actually did. Crow explained that it could locate the exact position of anything the user searches for. Akira immediately tried using it to find Amelia's whereabouts. Soon, the ring glowed and pointed to the location of the Brood Labyrinth. Crow wondered why Amelia was not in the demon territory yet, but Akira headed out with Knight, ready to get her back. As they moved out, Knight begged Akira to stop acting so recklessly. He apologized for putting Knight's life in danger, but Knight said he should take care of himself as well. Meanwhile, inside the labyrinth, Amelia sat in silence while Aurum felt satisfied with his monster control art's power. Amelia was surprised that the monster spell could prevent her from moving while still allowing her to talk, noting that it cannot fully control humans and elves. When she asked Aurum why he was doing this, he was surprised that she could still speak. He explained that only second-grade demons can use teleportation circles, and since he is a third-grade demon, he lacks the power to teleport. Therefore, He was waiting for his senior to show up and create a teleportation circle to the demon territory. Amelia asked when his senior would arrive, but Aurum did not know. He found it amusing that she was trying to gather information while being a prisoner. He told her that if she was expecting Akira to rescue her, he was sure Akira couldn't defeat him. He revealed that he had no intention of killing her since the demon lord wants her life. Meanwhile, Akira arrived outside the labyrinth. When he used the magic ring, it pointed underground, and Knight realized they would have to go deep into its lower levels. Before they could move out, a strange girl stopped them, saying she had a message for him. Akira recognized her as the girl he met back at the academy. She asked Akira to take her to where Amelia was. Akira grabbed the girl's collar and asked her how she knew Amelia's location. Under the threat of death, the girl explained that she uses her scent tracker skill to track Amelia's scent to the labyrinth. Since she knew Akira was traveling with her, she figured he would return to the labyrinth later. Knight noted that it is common for beast folk to get the scent tracker skill, so the girl probably was not lying. Akira then asked why she was following them, and she introduced herself as Leah, the first princess of Uruk. It turned out that Leah had received news about the demon lord's plan to capture Amelia, and she wanted to inform Akira ahead of time. He wondered why she hadn't told him earlier. She explained he wouldn't have believed her without proof. Because of this, she could only follow him while gathering evidence, but the demon lord's troops invaded before she could deliver the message. To see if she was trustworthy, Akira used World's Eye on her. After going through her memories, Akira finally trusted her and asked about her spirit barrier skill. Leah was surprised that he found out her hidden ability and explained that she can use it to guard moving objects. Akira wondered if it could protect a moving person, and she nodded. Leah said they should save Amelia as soon as possible since the demon lord is after her resurrection magic. In response, Akira got on top of Knight and told Leah to come with him. Back in the labyrinth, Amelia wondered why the demon lord wanted her resurrection magic since demons already have incredibly long lives. Aurum admitted that he did not know his master's motive since the resurrection magic only helps people who died recently. He also thought it was a pretty inconvenient spell since it requires a cooldown for a few days before the caster can use it again. Amelia was surprised by his knowledge, but Aurum told her that she would not be able to use this magic on Akira once he killed him, since she took a fatal wound herself and used the magic to protect her life. Then he started taunting her, saying he looked forward to her crying after he killed Akira, while Amelia silently glared at him. Somewhere else, Akira asked Leah why she was in the Reddest Kingdom back then. She revealed that her family was captured by a black slime some time ago, so she was looking for them around the world. Leah also explained that she actually comes from a peasant background, but the royal family adopted her. She used to live peacefully in her village, but suddenly a black slime appeared out of nowhere. Although slimes are pathetically weak monsters, this black slime was strong enough to swallow Leah's entire village, leaving her in the hands of the noble family. She thought the slime was an experimental monster with boosted powers. Akira wondered if it was the same black slime that had absorbed Amelia. Leah then revealed that the royal family adopted her because of her defensive skills. As a princess, she used her new position to investigate the slime incident. Her findings revealed the slime was connected to the human kingdom, which is why she went there to search. It turned out that all the beast folk and elves captured by the slimes were sacrificed by the humans to power their hero summoning ritual. Leah told Akira that she just wanted to see the heroes her families were sacrificed for with her own eyes, which is why she infiltrated the Reddy's kingdom, knowing he was also summoned through someone's sacrifice. Akira thought Leah must hate him. However, she did not blame him since it was the king's fault for summoning him from another world. Akira nodded and explained that he hated the king too, but for his own reasons, as he said that something was fishy with the king's demon invasion explanation. Knight told him it was a complete lie. According to Knight, the demons had not attacked anyone in the last few centuries, but the other races insist on making them look like the villains. This confused Akira, but before he could ask questions, they reached the labyrinth. Once they went inside, Leah pointed out that they could not head down the floors without defeating a certain number of monsters every time. Since Akira did not want to waste any time, he decided to use his shadow magic to quickly wipe out all the monsters. but Knight reminded him to preserve his strength for the demons on the final floor. Akira told him that he did not want to risk Amelia's life any longer. Seeing his determination, Knight offered to use his true power and exterminate the monsters instead. However, he warned Akira that he could lose control in that form once again. Although Knight thought he was strong enough to resist his instincts now, Akira reassured him that he would keep an eye out for him so that he could transform without worry. Finally, with Akira's encouragement, Knight transformed into his true form. In this form, Knight rushed through the labyrinth levels while tearing through all the monsters that blocked their path. Although Knight was moving at incredible speed, Akira noticed that he was not responding to his voice. To calm him down, Akira reached out to Knight's soul, which finally restored his sanity. As Knight moved with more control, Akira asked him why the demons are hated so much. Knight explained that the first demon lord attacked the other races as revenge for isolating the demons on the desolate continent known as Volcano. After that incident, the races turned all demons into villains and considered anyone who fought them as heroes. Akira realized that the other races were just racist, and Knight nodded. Knight also explained that a few generations ago, an idiot hero killed the demon lord's wife. That demon lord was actually a gentle soul who cared about his friends, but the hero killed his defenseless wife just to gain some clout among his people. Although Akira felt bad for this kind demon lord, he warned Knight that he would not have mercy on the current demon lord if he had bad intentions toward Amelia. Knight did not mind and told him to just see demons as a race with both good and bad people. Akira agreed to remember this, and soon they reached the dungeon's final floor. When Akira finally arrived, Amelia smiled, and he immediately told Leah to place a barrier around her. Aurum was surprised that he came so quickly and got ready to fight. Meanwhile, Knight reverted to his cat form and told Akira that he was all out of mana. Akira thanked him for all his help and told Amelia that he would not hand her over to anyone. Aurum taunted Akira for his big words. Akira told the arrogant demon kid he would make him pay, but Aurum thought he was going to kill him in an instant. Knight reminded Aurum that the demon lord only ordered him to bring Akira and Amelia alive to his castle. However, Aurum revealed that the demon lord changed his mind and only wants Amelia alive now. Knight felt disbelief upon hearing this. Suddenly, Akira launched a sneak attack at Aurum. He narrowly blocked the attack before mocking Akira's assassin abilities. Then Aurum stabbed Akira with a spear, but he kept trying to retaliate. As Aurum easily blocked all of Akira's attacks, he told him that humans do not usually last so long against him. He grazed Akira's arm with another slash, and Leah wondered why his attacks were hurting him even though she cast her barrier on Akira. Knight told her that it was because of the barrier that Akira was still alive, otherwise, a single cut from Aurum's attack would have destroyed his body. Finally, Aurum pulled back and declared that he was going to end Akira. Akira nodded, saying he also wanted to end things. Suddenly, he activated his shadow magic, which absorbed the blood he lost from his own wounds. The shadow magic stirred the blood into shadow beasts, which rushed to attack Aurum. Even the demon general was surprised as the powerful shadow beasts tore through him, injuring Aurum. Akira then slashed his arm, making his weapon useless. Amelia was shocked by Akira's power, while even Knight was stunned that he just defeated the air demon. Backed into a corner, Aurum played his flute, which summoned 3 giant monsters into the room. Since Akira just used his shadow magic, he could not recharge in time to defend against their attacks. Seeing him so helpless, Leah decided to pour all her mana into strengthening her shield, which allowed Akira to withstand the monster's attack. With the time he got from resting in the barrier, Akira was able to unleash another power attack and kill the monsters with one final blow. After the monsters collapsed, Amelia walked toward him since Aurum's control had been weakened. Meanwhile, Aurum accepted his defeat, and Akira pointed his sword at him. However, he hesitated to kill the young demon since he resembled a human so much. In the end, he was unable to bring down his sword in time, giving a second-grade demon named Mahiro the chance to teleport into the labyrinth. As Mahiro walked out and greeted Akira, he wondered if he made the right choice to spare Aurum for now. Knight warned Akira not to fight Mahiro, and Akira agreed. He knew this demon was on a completely different level. Mahiro saw that Aurum could not keep fighting, so he used his power to push him to the back of the room, then shifted his focus to Akira. With a snap of his fingers, Mahiro shattered Leah's barrier, and Akira quickly told her to stay back. The demon agreed, saying he had no business with her. Then he used another spell that flew straight towards Amelia. The deadly spell went straight through her chest, making her scream in agony. Shocked, Akira rushed to help her, but Mahiro told him he did not kill her. Seeing her in so much pain, Akira glared murderously at the demon, who only mocked him in return. Knight warned him not to let Mahiro provoke him. Knowing he could not win, Akira wondered how to protect Amelia. Meanwhile, Mahiro cast a new spell that blocked all the exits. Knight realized it was barrier magic, so Mahiro told him he did not want Akira to escape. With his escape route sealed, Akira wondered what to do since his shadow magic was also exhausted. Suddenly, Mahiro asked Akira what his first name, Oda, meant in Japanese. This left him shocked, so Mahiro confirmed he was also from Japan. Akira wondered why another worlder like him was siding with the demons. But he had no time to react as Mahiro used another spell to attack him. As Akira barely avoided the attack, it returned with a homing effect and grazed his skin. Then he rushed to attack Mahiro, but he forced him to evade a deadly disc spell. Then Mahiro followed up with another attack. So Akira covered a tiny portion of his skin with shadow magic to block the projectile. Mahiro noted that Akira's shadow magic was low on energy, so he wondered how well it could perform at full strength. However, he said that the higher-ups would get mad if he took any longer, so he would finish the job soon. As Akira saw how easy it was for Mahiro to create his deadly attacks, he thought it was game over for him. Suddenly, Knight told Akira that he had recovered some of his own mana and stepped up to fight. Mahiro asked Knight if he was betraying the Demon Lord, and the Black Cat confirmed that Akira was now his true master. Then, Knight asked Akira through telepathy to end their contract. This left him shocked. The cat explained he would sacrifice himself to distract Mahiro, which would give Akira enough time to escape. Knight thought that Akira should save himself, but he refused to sacrifice his partner. Meanwhile, Mahiro got curious about their telepathic conversation but allowed them some time. After thinking about it, Akira told Knight he was ready to risk it all with him if it gave them both even a small chance to live. He asked Knight to fight with him, and the cat reminded Akira he was being too reckless. However, he appreciated his master's concern, and all of a sudden, Knight transformed into a copy of Sarin to fight alongside him. Mahiro was surprised to see this new form. Knight explained that this was the only body he could use with enough power to stand against him. Then Knight told Akira he could not sustain this form for too long, so they needed to finish the fight quickly. Soon both of them jumped into the fight, and Knight used Sarin's strongest technique to summon a giant hammer. As the hammer of light appeared in the room, Mahiro cast a magic barrier to defend it. Akira noted that the hammer's intense light was creating stronger shadows for him and told Knight to begin the attack. Knight brought down the hammer, and Mahiro's barrier was shattered, but he summoned a magic circle that rained down thunderbolts on his two opponents. As the two of them dodged, Akira wrapped his body in shadows to shield himself and close the distance to Mahiro. He attacked the demon, but Mahiro dodged his attack. Then Akira turned around and destroyed a magic circle just before Mahiro reappeared behind him for another attack. After narrowly evading the next attack, Akira got back, and Knight jumped out to retaliate against Mahiro. After his attack, Knight signaled toward Akira, so both of them started attacking Mahiro in unison. As the two of them forced Mahiro back, Akira wondered if this was how it would have felt to fight together with his teacher. Soon, their combined attacks managed to injure Mahiro's back, but Knight told Akira he was almost out of mana. Akira was confident he could end the battle soon. But Mahiro warned him he wasn't done yet. As the demon snapped his fingers, no more magic circles appeared. So Akira thought he was running out of magic. Suddenly, a hand pierced through Akira's chest. When he turned around, he saw Amelia, who was being controlled by Mahiro. As the mind control wore off, Amelia realized what she had done and started crying. Akira fell to the ground lifelessly, and Emilia screamed in despair watching him lie helplessly. She apologized for her mistake, but Akira knew she did not hurt him on purpose. Knight also rushed to check on him, realizing that Mahiro controlled Emilia with a spell he used at the start. Mahiro nodded, proudly explaining that his magic allows him to control the target and deploy his full power through their body. Meanwhile, Akira weakly said he would not let himself die and leave Emilia. Thinking about all the goals he still has left, he desperately hoped he could survive somehow. However, as life soon left his body, the shadow magic activated on its own. It cast a healing spell to repair Akira's body. So, Mahiro tried to finish him off. Somehow, the shadow magic deflected Mahiro's attack and lifted Akira's body into the air. Even Mahiro was shocked that Akira was still standing. But this time, the shadow magic controlled Akira's body to fight. As Mahiro charged to attack, Akira met his strike and injured him. Mahiro then cast a blade side, but Akira blocked it with a wall of shadows and used those same shadows to bind Mahiro. He asked Akira if he was being controlled. The system ignored Mahiro's question and threatened him to release Emilia, but he arrogantly claimed that a human cannot defeat a demon. The system told Mahiro he was wrong, saying that humans fail to defeat demons because they give up trying halfway. Getting furious from the system's taunts, Mahiro used a spell to attack Emilia. This snapped Akira out of his battle mode and rushed to help her. As Akira covered Emilia's body with his own, Mahiro's needles blazed through the air to pierce his body. Suddenly, the needles stopped in their tracks and disappeared thanks to Crow's spell. As everyone wondered why Crow was here, Mahiro asked him how he survived for so long since beastmen do not have very long lifespans. Crow told him that although he was not in his prime anymore, his strength had not weakened that much. Mahiro nodded, understanding that he was outmatched, and prepared to leave with Aurum. After he left, Leah asked Crow why he was helping them. He claimed that he was just passing through the area, while Akira was surprised that Crow knew so many people. Watching him struggle to speak, Crow told Akira to take some rest, and he collapsed in exhaustion. A while later, Akira woke up in Crow's house and asked Knight how long he was out. Knight told him he had been out for 3 days, and Akira smiled, happy to have Emilia caring for him all this time. Then Crow entered the room, and Akira thanked him for the help. Right then, Crow called for the people waiting outside to come in. Soon after, Akira's school friends entered, led by Jills, who explained that he came to the Beastfolk continent to find good weapons for his students. Asahina felt glad he finally found Akira, and Tsukasa explained that Jills removed the king's curses from everyone. Meanwhile, Asahina apologized to him for being unable to help during his curse, but Akira told him it was fine. Watching everyone gather together, Akira thought Tsukasa was truly a great leader who deserved the hero class. Then he asked Jills if he got into trouble with the palace after leaving. Jills explained that the castle fired him since they disbanded the Night Order, so he was free to go anyway. Asahina asked Akira if he would partner with them, but Knight told him he was the only partner he needed. As the two of them started arguing, Akira calmed them down before making his own point. Although he felt glad that the heroes' party was safe, Akira wondered what they planned to do next. Tsukasa told him that they want to defeat the Demon Lord, but Knight thought they were being too arrogant with their weak strength. Since Knight kept arguing with everyone, Akira kicked him out so he could have a proper chat with his classmates. After Knight left, Akira asked Tsukasa if they were trying to become heroes by defeating the Demon Lord. Tsukasa explained they were trying to gain the king's favor by defeating the Demon Lord so he would finally tell them how to go back to their world. Although Akira understood Tsukasa's reasoning, he also remembered that the king cruelly sacrificed many innocent people just to summon them. He told everyone there was a reason they could not trust the king and reminded them that he still needs to avenge Sarin's death. Everyone fell silent, wondering what he planned to do since he also wanted to return home. Then Akira explained that demons can use teleportation circles, so there is a chance they might have one that leads back home. He told everyone he would infiltrate the Demon Lord's territory to get the secrets himself, but needed to complete some other goals before that. Everyone asked Akira if he needed their help to fight the demons, but he declined. He warned them that even if they choose to fight, he would not be able to protect them. All he wanted to do was return home, and he would not let anyone else get in his way. Hearing him wanting to go home again, Amelia silently left the room. Akira followed her outside. He told the others to consider their options carefully before they made any big decisions. Then Gilles also left to discuss weapons with Crow, so the students were left alone while they all felt upset by Akira's cold treatment. Tsukasa still thought he was their best hope for returning home. They also realized they needed to prove their own strength before he helped them, which was an incredibly difficult goal. Meanwhile, Akira found Amelia standing at the edge of a cliff overlooking the sea. As he approached her, Amelia said that she always knew they would part ways someday, but she couldn't prepare herself for that moment. She apologized to Akira for hurting him, but he reminded her that none of what happened in the dungeon was her fault. However, Amelia revealed that although it tore her heart to see him so hurt, afterward, she felt happy. She explained that because Akira will forget about her after returning home, he will always remember the wound she created on his chest. Amelia felt guilty for feeling such perverse happiness. Akira started telling her that she was someone special to him. Amelia didn't believe his words, saying that a person's heart could easily change. Akira told her that even he did not always understand his own feelings, but that did not mean they had to worry so much about the future. Then he took out his sword and placed it in her hand and told her that in his world a man and woman who love each other get engaged by wearing matching rings. Then Akira pressed his own finger into the sword, which created a ring of blood around it. He firmly declared to Amelia that he loves her, and she started crying, saying she felt the same way. Then, after both of them got married with their blood rings, Akira asked Amelia if she wanted something from him. She told him to protect himself and always love her, and he agreed to her wish. Then both of them sealed their love with a kiss. Back in Crow's house, Tomoya told everyone that there was a festival going on in a nearby town. He explained that every year there is a beauty contest and the winners of the event go missing afterward. Because of this, there are rumors that someone is trafficking them. Since the rumor is quite widespread, they think it might be true, thinking that by catching the culprit, they could prove their strength to Akira. The next day, everyone started heading out to the city of Mali. Since Amelia wanted to enjoy the food and attractions at the festival, Akira also tagged along with their group. Once they reached the city, Amelia felt excited to participate in the beauty contest, thinking that the reward would be food. Knowing how eager she was, Akira kept moving since he did not want to spoil her fun. As they made their way to the contest registration, a girl yelled at the receptionist for being racist. Akira wondered what the fuss was about, so she told him that they were banning demons from participating in the contest. He felt surprised that the girl was a demon, but she acted like it was nothing special. Knight immediately recognized the girl, so she went ahead and introduced herself as Latte. After learning that she was a demon, Akira tried to sense her stats, but he was unable to find anything. Suddenly, she grabbed Akira's arm and asked him to help her enter the contest, which left Akira confused. But Amelia did not want him getting close to other girls, so she quickly pulled them apart. Amelia presented her own medallion to register for the contest, and the receptionist immediately recognized that she was an elven princess. Amelia felt pleased that someone was finally showing her respect, but then she glared at Akira for letting another girl flirt with him. He explained that Latte clung to him on her own. Meanwhile, Latte kept pestering the receptionist to let her join since she registered every other race except demons. Seeing how hard she was trying, Amelia noted that Latte was not a bad person. So, Akira offered to take responsibility for Latte, and the receptionist agreed to let her register under Amelia's authority. Latte thanked him, but she then recognized Knight. Knight explained that he formed a contract with Akira. Akira asked Knight how they knew each other, but Knight said he would explain later since they still had a few minutes before the contest began. Latte asked Akira and Amelia if they'd like to check out the festival together, and they agreed to go with her. A little while later, Latte started pitching herself to the audience, signing autographs left and right. Knight told Akira that Latte was just built differently, while Amelia thought she seemed like a good demon. Some girls recognized Akira and started calling him the silent assassin, but he had no idea why. Crow explained that he became famous under that title after using his shadows to save the city from the monster horde. Crow then gave Akira a yellow medal from the Adventurers Guild, saying he was promoted because of his achievement. Akira did not care about ranks, but Amelia mentioned that she was silver rank and his sister Kilika was gold rank, both behind Akira. The rest of the students also told him that they were yellow ranks, so he could always ask them for help if he needed it. Just then, Latte called Amelia for some food, so she got up to try it. Akira then told Knight to follow her just in case someone tried to hurt her. Akira wondered how Amelia got so close to Latte in such a short time. Crow remarked that it took them 2 days to reach the city, so they must have bonded during that time. Akira then asked Crow why he came to the festival. Crow reminded him of his dead sister. He explained that all this time he hadn't tried to take revenge on Graham because he simply was not strong enough anymore. His strength had declined over the years. Akira thought there was no way a warrior like Crow could be so weak, but Crow told him that beast folk can age a lot without changing their appearance. The fat noble Graham is always surrounded by powerful bodyguards, and Crow thought he was incapable of fighting them. Crow also explained that Graham is a man with a large influence, so he most probably sold the information about Amelia's location to the demons back when she was captured by Aurum. Finally, Crow told Akira that he saved him in the beast labyrinth because he wanted Akira to owe him a favor. And if it had not been for him, Akira would have died down there. Crow then revealed his request to Akira, leaving him completely stunned. Akira struggled to respond, but Crow told him to take his time before giving a proper answer. Just then, Jills appeared to inform Crow that they needed to arrange their lodgings. So, Crow told Akira that the main festival was about to begin. At the stadium, Akira and the students got a VIP room in the contest venue thanks to Crow's connections. Knight felt happy that they were getting special treatment. Asahina nodded, thinking that privacy was crucial for them since Akira was so famous. However, he noticed Akira deep in thought while the contest began outside. Soon, it was Amelia's turn to pose, and she was an immediate crowd favorite when she showed up. Watching her wink at him, even Akira admitted that she was beautiful. As everyone thought Amelia had the competition in the bag, suddenly Latte showed up in her dark cloak. Although the audience felt confused by her strange getup, she started setting up the stage with magic crystals. Suddenly, the crystals created a huge entrance flare for her, and she revealed her real contest dress in a hype display that won over them all. After the contest, the judge announced that both Amelia and Latte had tied for first place since they received equal votes. Latte felt a bit sad that she couldn't win despite all her efforts. But Akira pointed out that it was already very impressive that she could contest with Amelia's beauty. While his compliments pleased Amelia, Latte noticed just how much the two of them loved each other. Then she told Amelia she would have a rematch with her next year. Knight stepped in and told Latte that she would get into trouble with her father if she kept attracting so much attention. Latte told him she did not care since she was angry at her father and ran away. Akira wondered what Latte's real identity was. So Knight finally revealed that she was the Demon Lord's daughter, shocking everyone. Meanwhile, Graham watched them through a surveillance camera. His guards asked him what to do next. He told the guards to send his smaller troops out, saying that he would capture Amelia using his tricks even when the demons failed to do so. Afterward, Akira finally scanned Latte's real stats using his world's eye and realized she was on a completely different level. Amelia told him she always knew how strong Latte was and reminded Akira to always use his world's eye for suspicious targets. Akira nodded, knowing that she meant well. However, he remained silent, thinking about the disturbing visions of his dead schoolmates that appear whenever he uses the creepy skill. Just then, Jills and Crow arrived and told everyone they found an inn. Jills wondered if he needed to get another room for Latte, but she explained that she would just sleep outside. Latte thought this was for the best since her demonic aura would scare the humans around her. So, Amelia told her to meet with her tomorrow to pick up the beauty contest prizes. Later that night, Akira wondered why they had to go back tomorrow to collect their prizes. Tsukasa explained that the contest managers weren't completely ready for the award ceremony. Akira wondered why he thought this way. So, Tsukasa revealed that when he went to participate in the men's division, he won the entire competition with ease. At that time, Tsukasa noticed that the staff's preparations for the reward ceremony were incomplete. Thinking about the rewards, Amelia thought it was sure to be some tasty dish. Then the boys left to take a bath before sleeping. So Amelia asked Akira to bathe with her. He reminded her that he couldn't enter the women's bath. In that moment, Crow asked Akira not to forget about what they talked earlier, and Akira nodded, but Crow stayed silent, watching his hesitant response. Amelia got serious and dragged Akira into their bedroom. After pushing him on the bed, she told him he needed to get rest since he had been working so hard these days. Although Akira thought he could live for a few days without sleep, Amelia refused to take no for an answer and put him to sleep using a forced sleep spell instead. Once outside, Crow taunted her for being so forceful with Akira. Amelia asked him what kind of twisted ideas he put in Akira's mind, but Crow told her he only discussed business with him. Since Amelia thought he was forcing Akira to do something he didn't want to, she warned Crow to stop meddling. However, he reminded her of the labyrinth where Akira failed to kill Aurum. Crow wondered if Akira refused to kill the demon back then because of his own principles or because of some external pressure. Refusing to answer him, Amelia told Crow he had no right to change the way Akira wants to live. So he told her that was never his plan. Crow explained that he left the choice up to Akira before saying that when the time comes, Akira might abandon his previous principles and kill the enemy to protect her. Shocked, Amelia wondered if Akira would truly consider killing someone just for her sake. The next day, everyone headed out for the awards ceremony. Latte asked where Akira was, and Amelia informed her that he was sleeping like a log in the hotel. Amelia told her they didn't need his presence since it was just a ceremony. On the other hand, Tsukasa told Asahina that they should stay vigilant since it was likely that the traffickers would make their move there. Since Akira wasn't there, they felt a bit relieved to get a chance to prove their own strength. A few minutes later, they arrived and wondered why they were holding the award ceremony in an ancient-looking building. As they all stood inside waiting for the tournament's officials, suddenly some masked men came barging in. Since the men asked for her identity, Amelia wondered why they were here. The men explained that Graham had summoned her, so they were here to take her with them. However, Amelia refused to cooperate, saying that she would never join a low-life coward like him. Despite her resistance, the masked men got ready to fight back. But suddenly, Amelia created intensely heavy gravity spheres that crushed all of them. She asked their leader to give her more intel, but he refused to talk. However, after some more pressure from Amelia, he explained that most of the previous winners who got caught had their organs stolen and sold by Graham. Then he explained that even though the rumors of these kidnappings spread far and wide, the corrupt noble used to keep them at bay using his money. Amelia got enraged that Graham was trying to sell her off. Angered, she increased the pressure of her magic spheres, ready to crush the assassins to bits. But suddenly, Latte stopped her. She told Amelia that even if the assassins are bad people, they must have their own backstory and motivation for fighting her. Since Latte thought a fighter wasn't inherently good or evil, she thought that everyone deserves a fair fighting chance in their world, whether strong or weak. As Latte firmly told everyone she wouldn't allow them to kill anyone in front of her, Akira observed the scene through telepathy since Amelia's sleep spell linked his mind with hers. Then Latte told Amelia that she could kill people when she wasn't around since she couldn't protect people everywhere she goes. Watching the scene from afar, Akira thought that he did not want to see Amelia murder a person in front of him either. While he felt relieved that Latte saved him from seeing such a painful scene, he wondered how Amelia would react if one day he had to end someone's life in front of her. A few days later, Akira asked Gilles how he knew Crow. He explained that since Crow used to take disciples in the past, his mother became his student. However, his intense training drove her insane, so Crow adopted Gilles to take care of him. Akira was surprised that they were so strongly related, and Gilles cleared up that he did not hate Crow because of what happened to his mother. In his eyes, Crow was like a father who took him in when no one else was there for him. Akira also admitted that Crow seemed like a person who takes care of others, and Gilles asked if he received his help as well. As Akira nodded, Gilles told him it was up to him if he wanted to repay Crow's favor. However, he warned him that Crow did not have much time left, so he should do it quickly if he wanted to. Right then, Knight returned and explained that the camera around the festival area was installed on the orders of Graham. Since Graham wants to track the contest winners, it means that he also has his eye on Amelia. Thinking about the future, Akira wondered how to deal with this new problem. Akira then told Gilles that Graham was using the same device that the Human King used to spy on all the heroes. He asked Gilles what the device was called in this world. Gilles told him it was called a camera. This surprised Akira. So Knight explained that one of the previous summoned heroes had brought some of their technology into this world, so cameras aren't considered unusual here. Gilles added that in the Yamato Kingdom, the locals even follow the traditions and eat the cuisine of certain Earth regions because of the hero's influence. Akira found himself intrigued by the Yamato Kingdom. Before he could think more about it, Amelia and the others eventually made their way back from the festival. Telling the others to wait, Akira asked Asahina, Tsukasa, Amelia, and Gilles to come with him for a private talk. There, Akira asked his classmates if they called him to visit the festival while secretly investigating it for human trafficking rumors. Surprised that he caught them, Asahina admitted that they were just trying to prove their own strength, but failed to accomplish anything meaningful. However, Akira respected that they tried their best for a different goal. He told his classmates that even if he has the same goal as them, he wants to take care of Graham first. Crow told Akira he could visit Uric City since Graham was acting as the guild master of the Adventurers Guild there. Asahina offered to help Akira take down Graham, but he strictly refused. Crow then told Akira he would guide him through the Demon Continent as well if he could fulfill his request. So Akira promised to think about it. After that, Gilles and the heroes' party would be waiting for Akira somewhere near the Demon Realm while he took care of his affairs in the Beast Kingdom. Asahina took out a map and suggested a certain spot, but Crow instantly refused. So Gilles explained that his mom lived there. Akira was surprised that Crow's mom was still alive since he was so old. So Gilles told him it was a long story. Then Crow suggested a different meeting point. So everyone started leaving after agreeing to meet there. That evening, Amelia told Crow to stop burdening Akira, but he told her it was his choice whether to accept his offer or not. She grew silent before asking him to take her as his disciple. Crow reminded her he was not accepting disciples anymore, so Amelia told him she wanted to be strong enough so Akira didn't have to protect her. Seeing her resolve, Crow gained some respect for her and thought she might be able to withstand his training. A short while later, as Akira began leaving with Crow and Amelia, Gilles gave him an old pouch. He reminded him that Akira forgot to pick up the pouch from Sarin's room when he was escaping from the Human Kingdom, so it must still have some useful items for him. After accepting, Akira left in the carriage, after which the heroes also moved out. 3 days later, Amelia ended up exhausted after spending the entire day studying and training. Akira was surprised. So Crow told him it was already very impressive that she survived so long. Crow told him that Amelia was famous for her powerful magic and monster-repelling abilities. However, the Elven Kingdom silenced all news about her, so she remained a legend for him. Crow also revealed that he named Leah after Amelia, showing how much admiration he held for her. However, he thought that Amelia's abilities were much more terrifying in person since he was teaching her a magic inversion skill created by the first hero. Although this spell can offer an instant counterattack to any spell, it requires the user to master an ancient language first. Even though the ancient language is full of complex symbols that could shatter a person's mind, Amelia created a new skill called comprehension just so she could understand it. While Crow admired Amelia's abilities, Akira wondered how he created such a powerful spell in the first place. Crow told him that because his mother took some strange drugs while she was pregnant, it gave him a much longer lifespan than normal beast folk. This gave him lots of time to research and perfect his skills. But now he was stuck living with regrets until he could avenge his sister. As Crow sighed, wanting to end his troubles, Akira felt sorry for the burden he had dealt with throughout his whole life. Meanwhile, Knight scouted the city's rooftops to get some intel. However, he bumped into Latte, who asked him why he was alone. Knight explained that he was sneaking around to gather information, which excited her, and she eagerly offered to go along with him. A few days later, Akira's carriage finally reached Euro. There, Crow told him to hang out with Amelia while he booked a hotel for them. Since Akira didn't know his way around the giant city, Crow told him to meet Leah after an hour. After Crow headed out, Akira went on a date with Amelia. Once he treated her to some delicious food, he felt genuinely happy. Though he started thinking about bringing up a serious question, he decided not to say it. So, Amelia reassured him she would get much stronger for his sake. As Akira told her to take it easy, they continued exploring the city. A little while later, Leah met up with them and took them around the city for some sightseeing. First, she brought them on a luxurious boat ride along the city's rivers, noting that Euro is well known for these tours. As Amelia happily devoured her food on the boat, Akira suddenly realized that the city of Euro strongly resembled Venice from his home world. Soon, he noticed a castle in the distance, so Leah explained it was the Beastfolk Kingdom's royal palace. She informed him that the royal family was expecting them, leaving Akira completely speechless. As they got off the boat and walked towards the palace, Leah explained that the king had arranged a banquet to welcome Princess Amelia. Akira nodded before thanking her for saving his life against the demons. As she received his thanks, Akira curiously asked her if she invented her spirit barrier skill based on Crow's inversion. Surprised, Leah told him that her barrier skill is just an enhanced version of stronger barriers, so powerful spells can break it. However, Crow's inversion skill appears to counterattack whatever the user is facing, so she thinks it's a much stronger spell than her own. Afterward, they entered King Igam's hall where he welcomed Amelia. After Amelia thanked him for the invite, Igam said he wanted to thank her for saving his daughter. Amelia pointed out that Akira and Crow were the ones who saved Leah. Yet, the king only expressed his gratitude to Crow for stepping in. Akira started feeling like he wasn't really welcome since the king didn't even bother to thank him. But then the king abruptly turned to Akira and asked him for a favor. Akira told him he couldn't guarantee anything. At that moment, one of the king's guards exploded in anger at Akira for speaking so casually to his majesty. However, the king ordered him to stand down. So, he turned to Akira and asked him to carry out an assassination in exchange for his protection. But Akira immediately refused. Then King Igam offered other rewards, saying he just needs him to eliminate Graham. Since Akira already has Graham in his sights, Igam thought they could strike a deal. He explained that despite only being a guild master, Graham keeps wreaking havoc in his kingdom by using mercenaries. Akira told him it was none of his business. So the king wondered why his protection wasn't enough for him. He told King Igam that he didn't need protection from someone weaker than him. So the guard captain got angry for this comment. The captain asked him if he had gone mad from his fame, but Akira told him he had no part in spreading the rumors about himself. However, he told the king that he can prove his own strength. So, the guard captain also asked the king for permission to duel him. Excited to see the action, King Igam agreed. The two fighters were taken to a ring. Once the guard captain prepared to fight, Akira suddenly tossed his swords over to Amelia. Seeing him throw away his weapons, the captain wondered if he wasn't taking him seriously. However, Akira told him he was only going to fight like a true assassin with hidden weapons. So, the king signaled the start of their fight. Soon after, the captain rushed at Akira and swung his massive axe, but he effortlessly slipped past each strike before pulling out a set of kunai. Using some ropes attached to the kunai, he jumped into the air and trapped the captain's leg. Enraged, the captain pulled Akira toward him using the very same rope and tried to strike him down with his axe, but Akira slipped away and landed on a nearby rooftop. From there, he launched himself back into the arena, sliding along the captain's axe and shredding it into pieces with his blades before aiming them directly at the captain's neck. With the battle decided, Amelia told the king to stop questioning Akira's wishes. Although the king accepted her demand, he wondered why she was married to a human. He reminded Amelia that as an elf, she would live for several centuries longer than he would, which means Akira will end up dying long before her. This comment left Amelia feeling sad. However, he told his guards to escort Akira and Amelia back to the city's harbor. While Akira noticed Amelia's sad face, a while later, as they were heading back, he asked her why she looked so down, but she just complimented him for his cool performance. Amelia then told him she was lucky to be spending time with him. However, Akira thought he was the lucky one since Amelia left her royal family just to live with him. Hearing his words, she smiled, feeling happy that he said just what she needed to hear. Overwhelmed by emotion, she started crying and hugged him, which left Akira completely confused. Amelia insisted that she wouldn't be able to live without him, prompting Akira to tell her to stop saying such strange things. Later, Akira and Amelia went to the hotel Crow booked for them. Crow explained that the hotel owner owed him a favor, so they did not need to pay him anything. Meanwhile, Amelia felt excited to cuddle with Akira on the large bed. Unfortunately for her, he just took out a book and started reading like a grumpy old man. Seeing him read, Crow thought Akira reminded him of an old friend who was just as passionate about learning as him. While Akira thought it would be nice to meet such a person, Crow told him that this person was called a sage and a master of both sword and magic arts. This news surprised Akira, so he asked Crow who this person was. Crow explained that his name was Sarin, and Akira went quiet. He then revealed that he owed Sarin a massive favor. Hearing that Akira was indebted to Sarin, Crow thought that things would be easy for them. Akira wondered what he meant, so Crow asked him who killed Sarin. In response, Akira told him that it was the king's assassination squad, the Night Ravens. Crow nodded but revealed that in the background the Night Ravens were sponsored by none other than Graham. Hearing that Graham was responsible for his beloved teacher's death, Akira's eyes started trembling from emotion. At the end of the video, subscribe and turn on notifications for more content like this.